Begin.
All right, Mr. Harlan. I'm going to have you repeat that one more time. Can you state your name, birthday, and birth town for me?
I'm William Wirt Harlan Jr. I was born July the 12th, 1924.
All right.
I'm 91 and a half years old.
And where were you born, sir?
Mama,
Where were you born?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, so that's pretty easy. Could you describe your family life growing up in Nashville?
My family, well, I had 3 younger brothers. And we lived on Kirkwood Lane, where my father had built a house about the year I was born. And it was suburban dash rural at that time. The land behind our house had not been developed, and it was open for us to keep, do a ballpark and homemade ball fields and that sort of thing. And there were a lot of young fellows on the street my age, and so we had plenty of people to be a companion and do contests with and whatever we were doing.
Did you all play a lot of baseball together?
We did set up a diamond on the field behind the house, and the neighborhood used it.
Wow. Okay. So, how did you find Battleground Academy? Did your parents go there previously?
I did not understand your question.
No, it's okay. Now, when your parents, did they ask you if you'd like to go to Battleground Academy?
Well, we moved from Kirkwood Lane in Nashville to a farm in Williamson County that my father bought. And in fact, it was one of about 6 parcels he put together, and it's now known as a park at Harlansdale Farm. And when I've in dispute with some of my brothers who are deceased as to what year we moved, but I was either 8, 9, or 10, I don't know which. And we moved to the farm, and I had instant ponies and other livestock on the farm to interact with. And, I really took a great interest in that. My father had decided that he had 4 boys and he wanted to get them away from Nashville. So we moved to a really den of corruption in Franklin.
Oh, wow.
And there I was introduced to all the bad things that young men could find.
Would you like to expand on that?
Huh?
Would you like to expand on that?
I don't know.
If you feel comfortable.
We got some ponies, and a lot of town boys would come over, and some of them had ponies, and we'd all get together on the weekend and just ride and not do anything special. We also set up a ball field in a field behind the house, and we had a lot of baseball activity down there, starting when I was quite young till I got older, and I really didn't have a great deal of skills in that, but some of my friends from Franklin did, and we had good times there.
As long as it's fun, then that's good. As long as it's fun, then it's an okay competition, right?
Right. It was friendly, and it looked like the left field fence was so close you could hit a ball over it. Nobody ever did. And but we had plenty of room for the ball to roll around and plenty of activity there. And then we had the barn nearby where we kept our ponies, and some of our neighbors would bring theirs over there too.
Oh, cool.
And it was a really big experience for somebody my age to grow up in the surroundings like that. And went to Franklin Elementary School at 5 Points. I think I don't know whether I started in the 5th grade or the 6th grade. But anyway, I had some great teachers. remember all of them, Miss Jessie Gray, and my first one. And she had a big ruler. You did something wrong in her hand, she'd pull your hand down and whack it a few times. And that was your penalty for being a bad boy. And I remember those days quite well. Miss Sally C. was my second grade teacher, I believe. Ms. Aiken was the 8th grade teacher.
So this was all at Battleground Academy, or was
This was at the elementary school.
Okay.
And before my 9th grade, Mr. Briggs, George Briggs, the headmaster, came out to our home one summer afternoon, and I was cutting the yard with a push mower. My brother Tom also had one. My dad didn't play favorites. He bought 2 push mowers. And we were cutting the grass in the yard. And Mr. Briggs and my dad sat on the front porch and talked a while. And he had made arrangements for me to start in the 9th grade there. And it was a pleasant journey. I was a little apprehensive. I'd never been to an all-boys environment. I'd been introduced to Franklin culture when I was in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, where I was kind of a smallish boy from the big town, and I had to be introduced to life in Franklin, which was semi-rural and semi-sophisticated. And at recess, they would form a circle around me and push me from one to the other, and each one would slap you and shove you back. And that was my initiation. That happened several days until one of the bigger fellows in my class came up and pushed him aside and said, "What are you doing to this fellow? He don't need that. Y'all let him alone." And he was big enough to make it stick. His name was Oscar Wharf. And I'll never forget that man. I saw him several times after that, but he didn't go to Battleground. He went to high school, I think, but I kept up with him. But he saved me from a lot of torture. And that was the way you got introduced to Franklin culture in elementary school. I don't know whether anybody remembers things like that, but it took place. I wasn't the only one that way. I just happened to be a little bit smaller, and I'd come from a big city, and I had to be introduced. And so I went to Battleground Academy and started in the 9th grade there. And found that, well, it was a new day every day. I'd never been to anything where there was a lot more older boys there. Would you like to hear more about this?
I mean, of course. Did you live with your family, or did you live in the dormitories that they provided?
Well, no, we lived just across the river from where we were doing this interview.
Oh.
On Franklin Pike, or the one Nashville Pike, as they called it. And I was a little bit more than a mile from Battleground. And so somebody in the family would drop me off in the morning, and I would walk home in the afternoon. It was kind of uphill, downhill, and it was easy to do that. And it was a pleasant experience at Battleground. I learned a lot. Mr. Briggs, the headmaster, taught a freshman, I've forgotten what he called it, but it was a story of the Bible, he called it. And there was a textbook for it. And it was a great experience. Mr. Briggs was a great teacher. And he taught me, I learned things about the Bible that I had never encountered in my church's Sunday school classes. It was a continuous thing, and it grounded me in ways of knowledge of the Bible that I never would have experienced otherwise.
Did you all have religion classes? Did you all have religion classes as well?
I can't understand.
That's okay. Did you all have religion-specific class material?
Did,
Sorry. Did you all have religion-based class material at school?
Well, we had a textbook, and I'm sure it was available widely. It was called The Story of the Bible, and it was a continuous story of the events of the Bible, and it was not, I don't know how to describe it. It was just a good narrative that gave you, grounded you in the events of the Bible without